Morning Discord, morning YouTube. Give me one moment. Morning Discord, morning YouTube. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're about to touch the 5. Let's see what happens at the 5. I got a lot of explaining to do about some of the pathing this morning, so let me get a couple seconds. Let's see if this first movement has in store for us. All right, let's look at the higher time frames. Oh man, I'm lacking. I didn't finish this. Okay, I gotta, hold on. I'm running behind this morning. I'm sorry, give me a moment. I'm not feeling too well. Having a rough morning. Okay, higher time frame. The 5 minute. We're going sideways in the 5 minute. The 30 minute, again, sideways. We may have some room for the upside. It looks like we might be getting above the water, or we're about to have a weak bull cycle. So a weak bull cycle, if we have a weak bull cycle, imagine what the structure is that has to play out. If we have a weak bull cycle, what is the most likely structure to play out here? Ask yourself that question. I guess maybe we'll make it a pop quiz for the end of the session. I don't want to start that junk this early this morning, but it's always an opportunity to learn something. Okay, so we see where, excuse me, man, I'm having a bad morning, I'm sorry. You see our lick box right here? Let me make this a little bit better. You're not missing anything, don't worry. Let these early candles play out. Okay, it's already starting out pretty early this morning, or pretty easy this morning, sorry. Okay, so based on liquidity here, look at all this liquidity, right? Based on this liquidity, I think even if it did reject off the 5 right here, I would still want to see, meaning rejection to the upside, I would still want to see, once it gets above this level, a break and retest. All right, don't forget, we're in this range here, so the Discord, we should just be sitting by idly, allowing the market to build in a direction, and then we'll figure it out, okay? So I'm gonna give you the plan as we go along. Here's what's gonna happen. Let me make sure everyone's, all right, we got everyone on board, kinda, sorta. All right, here we go. This is what we're gonna do, right? Everyone pay attention, this is the plan. Look at the 30 minute. You know what, I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna mute YouTube really quick, because this is only for Discord, so I'll be right back. YouTube, give me a moment. Discord, hold on a second. Okay, YouTube, here we go. Let's get back into it. All right, back to the 1 minute. So now we do know that there's a lot of liquidity on the 5, but you know, we're also in this lick box, so risk to reward. Sorry, hold on. Jeez, I'm having a rough morning. Let me check Discord. You guys okay? Everyone's cool? All right, let's look at the 30 minute. So we broke our, look, we broke the line. Let's see if we start this bear cycle. Okay. Oh shit. So ideally here, again, we like to see a break and retest. Let's get some more, a little deeper. We want a little deeper structure. I mean, could it just dump right here? Sure, it could. But I'm trying to explain to you the safety setups. If you go in here, you know, I don't know. Your probability is a lot less if you're going on a put. Your target, if you do, is going to be obviously this key level right here. Now, let me explain really quick on the 30 minute what happened over here. So this highlighted white line, this highlighted level, I just put this here. Originally what I had was pink. So this pink should actually be the pink ranger. However, for some reason I didn't put this line here all this time. So I don't know. And it's odd to me that I didn't, but I put it here this morning just to make sure. So it looks like it's holding up. If it's some type of support, it lines up with the 5. So let's just be patient here. Let's allow this to, you know, to finish the cross, because we won't know. I promise you that the finishing of this, if it's gonna bolt down, should coincide with underneath this level right here. Actually, let's see, hold on. Something like that. It should be like that. So, you know, we can't be exact. So we gotta have a little bit of margin of error, because, you know, they like to you know, give us wicks to look for the stop hunt, things like this. So let's just be patient here. You see the price action is doing what it should do. We like this because we need to see some motion. So before we go up, we got to go down. Before we go down, we got to go up. So we need motion either way. So just be patient here. You don't always have to be in a trade just because you see candles heading, you know, oh, here goes 3 red candles, let's go in. No, don't work like that. We need to see a setup, we need to see structure, and sometimes that means waiting 15, 20, 30, an hour to wait for the setup that we like. Because what if this thing plays out, you know, the pattern that we figured, meaning this might be a momentum candle here. This 30 minute might be. Let's see how this 30 minute candle finishes. If the 30 minute candle finishes like, you know, good momentum candle, then we're gonna look for our entry. I lost my train of thought. I was saying something else. Don't get old. Jeez. I'll be right back. Okay, let's see if this is maybe a break and a weak retest. This is be patient here. We're still in this range, so you see what could happen. You see it could easily just spike on you. So let's just wait, look for the momentum. You're not missing anything. These algos that I'm going to start drawing now, these are the, I guess I'll call them like micro algos. And I'm saying micro because, you know, the market is a structure within a structure within a structure. It's the Inception, the original movie Inception. So so when I'm saying I'm doing micro algos, if our overall trend, I'm giving you an idea. This is an example. If our overall trend, let's say this is like much wider, right? Much wider. If our overall trend is up, there's also other algos inside of here, right? There's also other algos inside of here. So these are the micro, and this would be the macro. So macro, you're heading up, and the micro, right? The inside of the macro. So there you go. That's what I'm trying to do here. Back to the action. See, look, do you see how we know to be cautious? Even though normally we're like, oh, the 5, liquidity, yay, it's, you know, this is where the liquidity is. You know, we have to be a little reserved here because, look, we know we don't have any real direction. We're actually sideways. So just be a little patient. Wait for the confirmation. Confirmation also doesn't mean 100%. It means, when I'm saying confirmation, it means your probability is higher. That's what I mean. When you have the highest probability. So this is probably going to be our selling channel within our micro selling channel, right? So we have to use these to, you know, inception of the market. We're going to use these to tell us our bigger one. We're going to use the micro structure to figure out the macro structure. So you need to start thinking of trades instead of looking at it like candle by candle, or maybe we should start looking at it like time. For example, I don't know, let's say on our 30-minute, we just start our bull cycle and we're expecting, and we're in calls. Instead of looking at the candles and trying to focus so hard, just think about there's a certain amount of time that the market needs to build to give you the momentum. So if you're in the downtrend, and you know, I think sometimes we look at pullbacks or retracement as a bad thing and we start to panic, but we need to realize that the retracement is what's giving us the strength for continuation. So don't be afraid of the retracement. We'll try not to. I know how it is. Okay, I promise you today I'm going to figure out why I'm not hearing the notifications. I've turned something off. The other day, just the computer just decided to change all the settings. So now I have to figure out each step of the way what setting was changed. So everything's working out perfect here. As expected, everything's going as expected. We're just waiting for our entry. Okay, 5 minutes says we got some downside. 30 minutes says we might be starting that bear cycle. And the 1 minute says we're far below the water. Okay. I still would feel a little more confident underneath this 6302, but you know, let's just wait for 1 or 2 cycles to go by. 1 or 2 cycles, I think, is mandatory from this point. You know, there's going to be times where, trust me, where even before the opening bell, you're going to be ready because, I don't know, maybe there's like a news event and you're just waiting to hit call or put. But for the most part, I'd like to wait maybe 1 or 2 cycles. Just for more data. This is how we're going to reduce our risk. We could have easily said buy puts, right? But trading plan says we know we're going to do a play off the 5. So break, retest, reject while still staying in magenta here. Let's see if the target's going to be 6302. If you're new, whenever you hear me saying prices, I'm leaving out 600, right? Because that's the obvious. So 6302, I'm just using the last 4 digits. All right, so for continuation down, let's look for, on our 1 minute, the weak bull cycle, right? The weak bull cycle means that this MACD is, or there's going to be, we're going to start green. And then if it goes into a bull cycle, let's see, we might continue to target here. Anyways, like I was saying, if we have a weak bull, you know, that'll be maybe a good idea for an entry, right? But as of now, we are just continuing to, let's see if we hit this target here. The 5, break, retest of the 5. So trading plan executed. I've done my job. Magenta's holding up pretty well. See the leg spread right here? See how the leg spread right here? Break, retest, reject of the 5. If you took the BRR of the 5, you got to protect your trade. Now's the time to protect that trade. Far below the water, everything's red. We got some more downward pressure on the 5. Okay, we probably start. It's like right on the edge of starting that bear cycle, so we'll see. See what happens when we get below 6306. We knew to expect this. We knew to expect a little dance right here, but this is what I'm saying. It's about a time. It's about time. It's not about the candle, right? Give it some time. It's about time. You want the time to, because this is the contract building value. You need that time. So don't worry necessarily, you know, if we have our setup, don't worry necessarily about the ugliness of the candles. The market doesn't go up or down in a straight line. Okay. Hold on. So if the market doesn't go up in a straight line, try not to let the opposite candle fake. Okay. Try not to let the opposite candle fake you out, because you know it's a time thing. It's the amount of time. Okay. Broke key level. Okay, Pink Ranger broke. All right, look, Pink Ranger broke. Let's see, from 72. It's only this is only 20 cents. We agreed 30 cents. Remember, we said we're gonna have, before we call something a win, we want at least 30 cents because that should give you enough time to protect your trade. And we just hit that 30 cent mark. So break of this level, You had time to protect your trade. If it goes against you now, you can always get back in without losing a dime. So there we go. Now my job is done, right? Because look, on the 30-minute, we have our pink ranger. You know, on the break of these, you know what to do here. So if you didn't take profit or place a proper stop, nothing I can do. We went over this in the homework, how to do it. Nothing I can do. But this is where you need to exercise patience with the time, right? Are you gonna let this one candle scare you out, or this is where you need to really refine or understand the market to hone your skills so these don't scare you. So you're not worried about that. You have to understand we still got plenty of strength for the down on the 5. And you know, it looks like we're starting this bear cycle here. So look, at this point here, let's say you get stopped out here. We're so far below the water that okay, hold on, let me pay attention. I gotta pay attention here. Give me a second. I'm still here, I'm just focused. Give me one moment. Okay, I'm good now. See how far away they are still, so let's give it some time. And also, look, this could be the movement could be a bigger movement, right? Maybe this isn't a break and retest. Maybe this movement now is going to be the break and retest. So you can get another opportunity if you didn't get in on puts already. Or if let's say you waited to here and you get stopped out, that's fine. Because what you're betting on is that it continues. If it didn't continue and you place your stop properly, you have nothing to worry about. Okay. So until these legs cross, just your best bet is to hold. It doesn't mean that it can't all of a sudden turn up right now and go against you. What I'm saying is, you know, on a standard of probabilities, it'll probably work out in your favor if you just at least try to hold until they actually cross. Not till they get close, but till they actually cross. And then you monitor to see how far below the water you are, because then you can say, hey, look, we're so far below the water that I can hold through this bull cycle, because there ain't no way it's gonna get, you know what I mean? You'll learn, it'll take time. All right, so now we're testing this liquidity box down here. So since the market moves in waves, right? The market moves in waves like that. Hold on, I gotta focus. Okay, since the market moves in waves, touching that level of liquidity, that's not unreasonable, right? That's not unreasonable, especially if the 5 starts to trend this way and it retests and reject the 5. That's not unreasonable. So we're gonna look for our weak. We technically haven't closed the legs, right? Technically haven't closed the legs. So it's a time game. It's about time. If you're in puts from the 5, you probably should be guiding off magenta, right? So when you break magenta, maybe it's time to single contracts. I recommend cutting it. Okay, calls. It's got to be above 64. Here, look. I'm gonna clean the chart just a bit. I'm gonna step away for a second, but I'm gonna set you up really quick. Let's look for this. Okay. Safety is going to be above the 5, a break and retest of the 5 for calls. And then we're technically still in this down, right? We're technically still in this down. So for the up, look for this. Otherwise, there's no entry. We're still in the downtrend. We're expecting a weak bull cycle now. So if you're looking for an entry on puts, you know what? This still hasn't even closed. So let's just give it a chance to close. It's about time. It's time. It's about timing. Now, ideally, we like to see this reject underneath here. If we get back above this level and start making this support, then you know to start waiting for your entry above the 5. It's a waiting game. Okay, just so we're clear. Just so we are clear. I'm cleaning the chart. All right, everyone sees what's happening here, right? We want to see the path to do this for calls. Something like this, right? For calls, we want to look for this. Hopefully, it's at the 5. See that? All right, cool. So that's that. And then puts, hopefully, it's obvious to you by now, if you've been with me for a little while. We want to look for something like that. We want this cycle to be a weak bull cycle. So when I'm saying about patience and waiting for the setup, you can't say, oh look, he drew the possibility of the call up here. What I'm recommending is you wait for this right shoulder. At this early stage in the game for some of you, I don't recommend taking the head. I recommend taking the right shoulder because this is your confirmation. So a retest and reject is confirmation. You know, that's how we view confirmation, a retest and reject. So look, when you get back up here, you need to retest and reject. This is what creates the shoulder. So unless you see something like that, don't take the trade. And hold on, I need to pay attention now. You see why I like to go through 1 or 2 cycles? Go through 1 or 2 cycles, because it's just, you get more data. You need at least 1 or 2 cycles to get more data. Clean up the chart just a bit. We know what the setups look like, so just be patient now. You're in the middle of the water. Well, maybe in the middle of the water. Hold on, we'll see. We'll see. Let's look at the 5-minute. All right, remember, we got off the 5-minute. So if we're still in this magenta on the 5-minute, ain't no reason to leave the trade. And then, let me see something. Look for this to be the shoulder. Something like this, right? If it wants to go up, look for this to be the shoulder. All right, look at the 5-minute. What do you think is going to happen? Look at the 5-minute. There's liquidity being built up right here. So here's a lick box. Gets easier with data. It's much easier with data. So the reason why I'm drawing paths now is because I'm seeing what the setup is for the longer term, obviously. But we need certain things to happen. I like data. Okay. Still far below the water. You're hoping for a week. For puts, we're hoping that this MACD crosses below. Okay. Let's look at, okay. Now we guide off the 5, don't forget. We like to guide off the 5. Okay. Let's see if it comes back to retest this level, right, the lower day right here, 62.43. Let's see if we can get back down here. Let's look at our 30-minute. Okay, 30-minute looks like we're right about to cross. What do we think's gonna happen? Right about to cross to the downside, maybe? So during this transitionary period between bull and bear cycle, we're pretty much at zero, right? So here's the two things that you're contending with. The MACD is trending up, right? Your signal line is trending down. This is sideways, correct? Once this MACD starts to plateau and start to face the same direction as your signal line, you better think about something. You better think about something. Now you have to think about this. Some traders that trade MACD are probably thinking like, hey, this is still below. There's no reason to leave. That's what a lot of people are thinking. So we'll see which thought process is accurate. Liquidity grab from level right here. Remember, your calls were above the 5. This is a tight range. This is a tight range. Broke magenta on the 5. Okay, now we got to make sure this isn't a break, retest, and reject of the 5, right? Because this could be the movement, the bigger movement. Meaning, doesn't necessarily mean that it's the single candle break and or the candle break and retest. It's the movement break and retest, right? So if let's say magenta is the movement and pink or purple is the movement. So the break, retest, and reject of the movement, not the candle. So when I'm saying deep structure, this is what I'm talking about. Does everyone understand that? Can you guys let me know if you understand what I'm saying about the movement, not a candle? Correct. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm just trying to make sure everyone's paying attention and listening, so because this is a very important concept. Because sometimes it literally is a candle touch, but ideally we like to see the movement, a break, retest, reject, the movement, the algo, the structure. It's gonna get easier as time goes on. We don't need to be in a trade. If you don't see a setup, then don't take the trade. Wait. We don't need to be in a trade. I told you we want to go through at least 1 or 2 cycles, right? At least 1 or 2 cycles, because we need to know the algorithms. How do we know the algorithm without the cycle going through? You know, we can speculate, okay, here's the 5, but that's up to you. I 100% said, let's wait for a couple cycles, right? Wait for a couple cycles. And remember, I told you, there's some people that trade that are saying, hey, look, we're still below the water. I'm not leaving this trade. And then we got to ask ourselves, how many times have I said that same thing, right? I'm going to give purple a 2 confidence level for entry on puts because I think we're in a range here. I think we're stuck between these yeah, we're like literally on the liquidity boxes of both of them. You see the lick box here, we're just stuck in between them, so minimum, we want to wait for purple to break. Minimum. And also, I'd like to see this start pointing down. I want to see this excuse me. I want to see this MACD start pointing down. I want to see the signal line start pointing down. Okay, so you see how we identify liquidity level on this shoulder here from this other shoulder? So remember, everything's a break retest like a wave, right? So since everything's a wave, watch. You see the liquidity that it's grabbing? The liquidity off the other shoulder. You see it? I don't know, I want everyone to pay attention to that. Oh, what the heck is going on? Okay. Oh man, I just realized my magenta is on the 5 is off. Jeez, my bad. My magenta on the 5 was off. Okay, that should be something similar. Okay, this is the magenta. I'm sorry, I didn't even realize I had it messed up. I was trying to do too much. No. I'm gonna clean up this chart just a bit. Hold on, I need to clean it up. Okay, now we got more data. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. Remember, if you're new to the Discord, we use the 5 minute to guide off of, because the 1 minute is gonna stop you out if you're new. 1 minute is gonna stop you out if you're new. Just remember that. Anyways, here we go. Look, here are the setups. It's either going to be this. I guarantee it's going to be one or the other. Let's take bets. Who wants to bet me? It's going to be one or the other, guarantee. I guarantee. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see. Okay, still got some room for the down on the 30-minute. Maybe week, what is it? Week, geez, bull cycle, maybe? Don't jump the gun. Allow it to do the thing. Allow it to do the thing. Don't jump the gun. You're not going to be late, so don't worry. You just got to worry about where you place your stops. So look, there's no calls until we get above the 5, right? We have to break, retest the 5. Break, retest the 5. There's no calls until we get above the 5. There's no puts until you get confirmation of some momentum swinging down. So we're stuck in between the liquidity levels. So wait for one of these things to happen. And either way, look, you see the range. So even if we do break above the 5, look where your target is. Measure your risk to reward. Once we get outside of this box, you know, then things will probably look a little bit different. But don't jump the gun on this, right? Wait. Because what if the 5 lines up with the break of purple? Then that'll make a lot more sense, right? To grab liquidity off the 5 for the break, retest, reject within the movement. So this is very easy. This is very simple. We are going to know exactly what's going to happen. This is why we wait for the data. We're going to know exactly what's going to happen. So what's going to set, now that we know, I promise you one of these two things is going to happen. So now that we know that for sure you have two options, okay? The only thing that's going to stop you from winning is where you place your stop loss. This is a fact. I don't know how I know, I just know. Watch. Don't overtrade, I'll be right back. Talk to each other. You're gonna have strength in numbers and confidence. I can't tell you, you know, do this now, do that now, because you have your own risk tolerance. I don't know how your bank account is set up, right? You might have a different bank account than me. Let me adjust this purple here. This purple needs to be adjusted just a bit. Okay, we'll leave it right there. Again, look, I can give you an idea on break of this purple, and again, it's a confidence level 2. Confidence level 3 is my highest confidence level. So confidence level 2 because we're just kind of sideways. But it'll happen. One of these two things is going to happen, I promise. Now, if somehow, by some miracle, the market stayed literally in between this level here all day, then I'm gonna go live in the woods somewhere and call it a day on life. You see how it's building up we know exactly what's gonna happen. We're building up. For the move that we know is going to happen, we're just building up. Now, don't overstay your welcome, because you know where the targets are, right? So it's always going to be to our next level. Where's the next level? We'll go through it right now. So let's say if we break below, then we're going to target our next liquidity box, probably the bottom of this liquidity box, right? We're going to look for whole numbers, right? We're going to look for half numbers. So we trail, you know, accordingly. But we're going to look for big liquidity, actually. So, yeah, somewhere probably down here would be a good target if we did break below. And target just means we're hoping. Doesn't mean it's going to. And when I'm saying we're hoping, that means you better trail your stops appropriately. There we go. See, more data makes everything so much easier. Now remember, we want to wait for this MACD to start pointing down. It has to start pointing down. If it doesn't plateau and start pointing down, you're just going sideways. Because look, you're fighting the MACD, and the MACD has more strength than the signal, right? So the MACD wants to curl up, but the signal line wants to curl down. We have to figure out who's gonna win. Because what we don't know at this point is this gonna start maybe a weak bear cycle, is this going to bounce off and the legs spread right back open? So the legs spreading open, if it does, I promise it'll most likely be above the 5. And if it wants to open up, if we want to actually start the bear cycle now, it'll probably be under the 5, right? The 5 holds the key. It looks like it. Look at our 30-minute. Look at the MACD. We're literally sideways. They're going opposite directions. It crossed. So now let's see if it starts to keel over to the right. It's plateauing right now. On our 1 minute, we're just starting to get above the water. So this is sideways, right? Our 1 minute is telling us one thing. Our 30 minutes, this is sideways. The market will tell us. We'll know exactly what's going to happen. Watch. And look, the beauty of this is that if we stay in this range, then there's no trade, right? Easy. If we stay in this range, there's no goddamn trade. How much easier could it be? I'm gonna clear these lick boxes really quick because maybe I think it will be beneficial. Hold on, let me show you. So I think we're caught in between this lick box and this lick box, between the two, above and below. It just tested it, right? It didn't, we need to break, retest, and reject. That didn't happen on this key level. So maybe the 5 is gonna be where the liquidity is needed to shoot it down. So be patient. Okay, so longer term traders are like, hey, look, you know, we're still below the water. On the break of, when it breaks above, when the MACD breaks back above, this would be the exit. Excuse me. This would be the exit when it breaks back above. So if you're doing MACD strategy, when the MACD, this orange line breaks below, you would take your trade, and then you know it's going against you when it goes back above. And it's kind of barely back above, and we're at the 5, so don't know. Let's see. Be patient. I promise you, one of these things is going to happen. It's going to happen. Now, how you place your stops, I can't control that. But one of them is going to happen. Oh, so for everyone that can't see, there's also another path right here. So, you know, you see me drawing the path. I'm not saying when it's going to happen. You know, I'm just saying where, you know, at what price level that should happen at. Let me draw it better then, because time moved on, so I don't want to confuse anybody. Yeah, it has to be here, right? And then if we do get above, you're looking for another entry. Let's see if we close the cup. Very simple. Watch. One of these things is going to happen. You need to figure out, you know, this is what, you already know the answers. You know the outcome. How are you going to manage the risk is the question. This is the part that I can't do. This is the part that I cannot do. And this is phase 3. This, after you get phase 3, everything gets easier. That's when you start to get consistent. That's when you start to gain your confidence. That's when you start to learn how to scale. That's when you start to understand risk reward. Like, huh, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to take 5 contracts now. Maybe I'll just take 2. Maybe I'll just take 4. So wait for your confirmations. Just wait. And then you see you're in this movement. So as long as you're in a movement, there's no reason, you know, if you're in the movement, you're in the movement. So what I mean by that is, let's say, because I did this head and shoulders a little while ago. Let's say if you decided you're brave enough to take the head, then guide along purple. Your stop should be along purple. I've been talking and I've been on mute. I don't know what you guys have heard. I just had an entire conversation by myself. Oh man, I just gave up so much sauce and everyone just missed it. I'm sorry. Don't get old, it's a bad thing. Okay, so I don't know what you heard, what you didn't hear. I might be repetitive right now, but one of these two things is going to happen. I'm telling you it's going to happen. How you manage the risk, I cannot control that. That is on you. You need to learn how to manage the risk. Because I can't control you. Your risk tolerance is different from mine. Your bank account setup different from mine. And I'm not there controlling where you're putting your stop, right? So you're in complete control. You know what the paths are. You know where the entries are. There's nothing I can do from this point on, right? I can tell you where the money is. I can tell you how to make money and what the likely setup is. That's all I can do. We just needed a little more data. Yeah, 1 or 2 cycles. Yeah, I think minimum we should wait 2 cycles from now on. So this area right here that we're in is pretty much a 50-50. If you need more confirmation, wait for a fade. Wait for the fade. If you need confirmation, wait for a fade. I'm telling you right now, calls are not until above the 5. I'm telling you, if you're taking calls before you get above the 5, you're not following the strategy, and you're doing something else. Good luck. It could work, but that's not the strategy that I implement. All right, be patient. I'm gonna get up and walk away and I'll be right back. Give me a moment. Don't overtrade. Remember, it's a time thing. It's about time. And now I know you're thinking like, well, time could work against you too. Yeah, that's true. I understand. Wait for your confirmations. Wait for it to fade a little bit more. If you need, if you're waiting for, you're not going to be late. I think we're too obsessed with that. And then it's because, like, I know what's happened, right? You've taken a trade, and then the one retracement candle happens. It goes against you for one candle, and then for the rest of your life, you're thinking, I entered too late. And then you're constantly trying to find the perfect entry, and then what you end up doing is going in earlier and earlier while you're still in the liquidity box, and you end up chopping yourself up. You get chopped up because you're in the lick box. So sometimes, it's got to be a little bit patient. Now look, analyze this. We're above the water on the MACD. We're above the water. If you're wait until you're comfortable. Wait for the fade is what I'm saying. So we have a lot of liquidity built up on 6302, right? So let's see if we break below. Let's see if we break below this liquidity. A lot of liquidity built up right here. You see it, right? And then there's some right here. We're stuck in between these two. Let's see who wins. Okay, we want the legs to spread open on the 1 minute. If for puts, if you're in puts, if you're looking for puts. On the 5 minute, for puts, you're looking for a weak bull cycle, but it looks like it would have to, yeah, it would have to kiss and then spread apart like right now. $30-minute, yeah, so it's like a trending up. It's a trending up bear cycle. We need the MACD to start curling over. It's just plateauing right now, so it's kind of sideways. Remember, the MACD has all the strength. I'm still here. I'm just being quiet. Okay. 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 Ooh, look at that 5. Look at the 5 minute. Look, we got it off the 5 minute. Remember me telling you that? We got it off the 5 minute. Okay. Tight range. Don't overstay your welcome. If you're in puts, don't overstay your welcome. Tight range. Tight range. Base hits, they add up, right? You don't have to get a home run every time. Base hits add up. You got to take what the market gives you. You got to take what the market gives you. Magenta didn't form yet. Come on. Okay. Evil. Evil. Man, I'm starting to wonder if it's gonna breathe. Here, let me clean it up really quick. Okay, I can't. It's sideways motion. This is just sideways. Just be patient. The 5 says it wants to start a bull cycle. The 30 says we got some room for the down. So it's sideways. Yeah, we're getting conflicting info. I tend to agree with 30-minute more than the 5-minute for the longer term plays. I think I might be reaching here. This might be a reach. Let me clean this up. That might be a reach. Patience. It's about time. It's about time. It's patience. Just be patient. I'll be right back. Could someone in the Discord do me a favor and explain to newcomers what a pink ranger is? I think this level right here, let me mark it out. I think this is that level right there. I think this is here, watch. We're hoping to get below this. Well, if you're in puts, you're hoping you get below what is this? 02. I think this 02 and this 47. I think, yeah, you see it. I don't even need to say it. You see it. See liquidity build up. And then you see it even smaller, little. See if I could. I think I see a little range right here between these two pinks. I think I see a little range between the two pinks. This is sideways. This is actually sideways. I'm pretty sure we've identified the chop, right? So if you're in a move, you're holding. If you're not in a move, then you're waiting. You're in the chop. Okay, I did make the statement that if it stays in this range all day today, I've served my purpose on Earth and there's no reason for me to be here any longer. Because that would be the craziest day in the market I've ever seen. See liquidity building up? I'm wondering if they're gonna start that breathe like that. Let me show you the breathe really quick. If we get above here, I'm gonna get stopped out on puts. If we get above this pink, I'll stop out on puts. And then if I get stopped out here, I'm gonna wait for my call entry above the 5. Just wait for the next setup. And I gotta hope that they don't, you know, fake out and yeah, I gotta hope that it's not a break, retest, and reject. So my mistake, not collecting when I should have. I let this run too long. That was my mistake. Should have collected. Should have collected. Stopped out. Wait for the next setup. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Above the 5, break and retest is going to be for calls. So on the pink ranger here, if you took the break of 62.72 down to this purple, that's half a point. So I think this is that's a winner. I have to call half a point a winner. Man, come on, man. Don't do this. Okay. Okay. Man, don't tell me this one minor candle. Okay, sideways, nothing to do here. Just be patient. Set alerts. Above 5, below 62.43. One of them is going to happen. It has to happen. Unless we just stay in this range literally all day. Oh man, this looks... Okay, it's hard to be wrong twice in a row. It's hard to be wrong twice in a row. Let's hope we get to the 5. Safety calls above the 5. Break, retest, reject above the 5. Like this, watch. Boop, boop, boop. Wherever that 5 is. So I have to recover from this break of purple here to this pink. So I gotta recover, well I don't have to, but my goal for today is to get back from this break of purple. I should have collected, I didn't, my fault. But I stopped it on pink, so you know I had a reasonable stop, didn't hurt. Didn't hurt me too much. With proper placement, you don't have to worry, because I'm positive I'm gonna win at the end of the day. Positive, can't be wrong. It's very hard to be wrong twice in a row. Very hard. This is still the flexion point for the bolt down. We're still right at that flexion point, so it's tough. You're in the middle of the water. You can't do anything here. Just wait. Man, if they stop hunting me on puts, oh my God. If they stop hunting me on puts, there we go. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, so remember my original loss was on this break of purple, and then I stopped out on pink, right? So now on this break of purple, I made my money back. I made my money back. See it? Look at the distance. My money came back. Don't care what happens. Okay, so I took full profit here. If I need to get back in, I will. I just wanted to get back to zero. Now I can reset. Everything's back to zero, okay? I stopped out here on this green. I took this purple and I stopped out. I recovered my loss from this purple to pink. So now if I need to get back, hold on, hold on. So I wasn't greedy, right? I know we're in a range here. I knew I can get something on this break of purple, and I took it. Okay, hold on. Hold on. So you got to measure risk to reward on purple to these levels, right? Each level is an area we need to watch out for. Okay. Now we're in profit. I told you, it's very hard to be wrong twice in a row. It's very hard. Now we're in profit for the day. We're green for the day now. I can leave, done. I don't need to trade anymore. I'm green for the day. I'm good. Okay. It's hard to be wrong twice in a row. Stick to the strategy. If I panicked and started revenge trading, I would have messed myself up. If I would have started revenge trading, I would have messed myself up. I waited for my entry. My call entry is above the 5. My put entry was on the break of purple. I made my money back. I'm good. I don't care what happens now. And I made a little tiny bit from here. Right? I made a little tiny bit. Now I went green here, little bit, but I'm green for the day. Don't care. Can't be wrong twice in a row. You got to be you got to be on top of it. I told you, your risk to reward is from one break to the next. That's all you can ask for. If you get more, good for you. And I know this isn't pretty, like we're scalping here. This is what we're doing. We're scalping. You see we're in a range. I just told you, all you can get is from one level to the next level. That's all you're asking. That's all you can ask for. Now let's see if we get back below the water. Let's look at the 5. We're hoping for a week. If you're in puts, you're hoping for a week, what is it? Bull cycle. Okay, now we look at the 30-minute. Look at the 30-minute. I tend to trust the 30-minute. Come on. Let's print. Let's go from... come on. I want to see strength here. Well, we got below 02. Let's see if we start rejecting underneath. A nice rejection under here would be nice. Okay, so again, listen, break up purple. In case you didn't know, I'm going to go over it again. We have to have some criteria for a win. If you're able to protect your trade reasonably in a reasonable amount of time, at 30 cents, I consider that a win because you have time to protect your trade in and even collect profit. And you should have enough at 30 cents to cover your fees depending on your brokerage, right? So let's measure it from purple, from the break of purple, because that's our entry, is, oh, sorry, let me look at it again. About 625. So from 625, excuse me, what did I just say? Let me say that again. 63.24. So from 63.24, if you got in on the put here, and you could have made to 79, that's enough to secure profit. So I have to consider this a win because this is a profitable trade, and depending on your scale, you could have made $10, $1,000, $10,000. I don't know, but could you have made profit here? Yes, I have to count that as a win. You know, this 30 cents. If you make 30 cents, that's a decent. You have to have expectation. You can't expect every move to be points and points and points. That's not realistic. You have to take what the market gives you. You just have to. Get something and stop being greedy and saying, oh, I could have got more. Get something and be happy with that. You see how the market's moving choppy? You know you got to get in and out. Like, you have to understand these concepts. When you hear me say, I took my, that's it, I'm good, I'm even, because I don't want to go red. Right? So I don't, and if I need to get back in, I get back in. I don't want to go red. Now, you know, I did get back in, but so now, but now I'm back to zero. So at least I'm at zero now, right? Need a little bit of movement to get back green. Just need a little movement to get back green. I want to go green, green. I'm not going to overstay my welcome. I see what's happening here. I'm not going to overstay. I'm going to allow this cycle to play out. And then whatever happens, win, lose, or draw, happens. Same thing I did up here, right? I took the loss here from breakup purple. I should have collected, but I didn't. Breakup purple, I stopped out on pink. I got back in on breakup purple. I got my money back here. I got back in, so let's see if I can get a little bit more. I want to go green, green, right? This trade here got me green. Evening a little bit green, maybe a little bit green, dollars. But then I went back in, so now, remember I told you, if I broke even, if I need to get back in, I'll get back in. I did. So, all right, here we go. Now we're printing. Now let's print money. Let's print money. Let's print. Here we go. You can't be wrong twice in a row. You just heard me, I announced out loud, I stopped out. I took my trade on breakup purple. I put my stop on pink. They stop hunted me. Okay, no big deal. I waited for my entry on breakup purple. I got back even. I went back in. Now I'm green. Well, now I'm break even. You know, green break even. Let me let some time go by now. Okay, I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. Stopped out even. If I need to get back in, I will. I wasn't paying attention. I walked away to let it breathe, and then I didn't adjust properly, and, and then I came back in it. Man, okay. See? Well, we're broke even. Oh, come on, man. That was my fault. I got up and I didn't. User error. I should have. I don't know. I stopped myself out for no reason. It's okay. Man, today is an ugly sideways grind. Look at today. Not every day is a trading day. Let's see if we get a weak bull cycle here for continuation down. This is sideways chop. Set alerts. Set alerts on pink. I'm gonna take my own advice. So let's recap today. You see the chop. I was a part of it. But you don't know when chop is gonna start. You just identify it once it happens. So I'll recap. I took breakup purple for puts. Didn't collect when I should have. Stopped out on pink. 84% rule back in. Broke even. Got back in. Broke even again. So we're even on the day. And that was just due to a little bit of greed, right? I let it run too long, and I didn't protect it aggressively. When I saw these two candles, I was like, all right. And then I saw maybe a wick right here. I was like, all right, let me give it some room. Didn't work. So, it happens. I'd like to stay below 02. just to see, you know, I'm trying to see if we have some momentum showing us something, right? So look, if we started on the bottom of the channel, we moved to the top of the channel. Now we're going to the bottom. So I'm asking, did we go down, go up? Is this a liquidity grab to just give us strength to the downside? Remember, everything moves in a wave, right? So we're seeing which wave is going to be. Actually, you know what? This 5 kind of hit. Look at this 5. This 5 kind of hit from 63.48 to 62.76. This 5 hit. This 5 hit big. Look, we got off the 5. You see the flexion right here? Winner. Yeah, I got a little hectic right here, but I think we all got caught up in it. Let's look at the 30 minute. 30 minutes still has room for the down. Maybe a weak bear cycle, a weak bull cycle on the 5. And okay. So let's see if we start trading on the bottom half. You see this? We started on the bottom, went to the top, grab liquidity, stop hunt. Maybe, I don't know. We're right. This is our thesis. Started at the bottom, grab liquidity, stop hunt. Thank you for your money. Thank you for your money, LiveSPYTrading. Bye. And then they took off. Okay, break a purple, big win. Big win on break a purple. It's very hard to be wrong twice in a row. We just need to exercise patience. We're still in this range, so technically I didn't. We're still in this range. I really want to get out of this range. All right, let's go. Okay. Okay, here we go. Please, don't overstay your welcome. Do not overstay your welcome. I haven't checked in on Discord in a long time. Okay, I'm in the Discord now. Ask me what you got to ask, or does anyone have anything for me? I'm in here now, and I'm paying attention to the chat. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. Break a purple. Can't be wrong twice in a row. It's damn near impossible. You have to actively work against yourself and have a deep-seated hatred for yourself. I'm just kidding, but it's very hard to lose twice in a row with this strategy. It's very hard. Look at the money we just printed on break a purple, and I got, man, they put me through the ringer over here. Easy money. Break a purple, easy money. Don't overstay your welcome. I tend to trust the 30 minute. I'm gonna go back to the Discord. You guys got anything? Everyone cool? Hey, Lee, did you get a chance to, are you using the, okay, yeah, go ahead and ask. I'm here, I'm here. Look, you guys are gonna find strength in numbers. Before the setup happens, confer with each other. You're gonna find strength in numbers. Confer with each other. Say, hey, what do you think about this? You know, it's coming up, the entry's coming up. What do you guys think? Okay, good. Lee, I'm still waiting for your question, so take your time. Have to have the buy order, so it didn't have to have buy order, so then I had to go do them. Okay, we'll talk after, and I'll show you what to do in that situation. Okay, listen. You're gonna need to go to your position tab, and then your position tabs, you should see whatever orders you have. And then there's gonna be 3 dots to the far left of whatever the order is. Click on those 3 dots, and you could set your take profit stop loss, or you could just close the order right there. You can hit close order. So it's in the bottom right, the way we have it set up. Go to your positions tab, and then you should see the order, the trade, and then you can manipulate it from there. Okay, yeah. But we're gonna go through it later on, so you don't have to go through that again. No, you don't have to. No. So look, you don't have to press that button at all. Your stop loss is the sell. So when you take the trade, look at the money we just printed. When you take the trade, you take the trade, your stop loss should automatically generate on your chart, and then you slide your stop loss. You shouldn't have to press anything. It should stop you out just with you sliding the stop loss when the price goes back. Let me see if that makes sense. No, no. You don't need to press. You don't need to press any red. It'll automatically do it when you drag that stop loss. No, I was trying to get. Okay, so even to get out of profit. Yeah. So basically your stop loss is your take profit, right? You're moving it along. Okay, good. Your stop loss is your take profit, essentially. Okay, perfect. Cool. But we had a pretty good day. Alerts got set off. Wait for a break and retest on pink. Alerts got set off. So now I'm alerted. Cool. Well, we already took this trade, so. Look at the money we printed. Every day we do it. Easy money. Okay, Ron, listen. I get it, right? Sometimes the candles look ugly, but we can't control that. And also, you have to imagine when you zoom out, like see the tight range we're in this pink. When you zoom out on your 30-minute, it doesn't look like that, right? So we have to be able to zoom out and realize that this is just the movement. And anyways, what I'm trying to say is, if the setup presents itself, that's the setup, man. You just can't overstay your welcome. If you know you're in a range, then you protect aggressively, right? If you know you're in a range, you protect it aggressively. If you get more, then you get more. But you don't have to be risky with it. You don't have to be risky, meaning if you know we're in a range, just like you said, I was a little hesitant. If you didn't take the trade, that's fine. I agree with you. If you're not comfortable, do not take the trade. I 100% agree with you. However, what I'm saying is, if you follow the strategy, you should be able to get something, right? Now you want your setups, you want your ideal setups. I'm not saying to ignore the setups. I'm not saying that at all. You need to figure out what your trading style is and what you're comfortable with. I think a little while ago, I said, I don't know if I'm reaching here, and I did this. I said, I think I'm reaching. So let's see if this happens. You got to rewind the tape. But Ron, if when the entry presents itself, you got a better chance of success if you stick with the strategy than not. That's what I can say. I literally, look, it happened to me. I got chopped up in here. I just waited for the next setup and I took my trade, right? Because you have to understand, right? Okay, listen. Here, let me make it make sense a little bit more. Let me make sure everyone's paying attention. I want everyone to pay attention right now. Listen. Don't even talk, just listen. Don't even think, just listen. No, I'm just kidding. Ready? Look. Here's what you have to consider. If purple is our entry for our puts on the down, right? Then what you need to consider is, or what you should be thinking about is, look at the amount of time and look at the amount of price action that happened within this purple movement. So you have to ask yourself, is that enough strength, right? Did I build enough liquidity for the break to give me something, right? So you're constantly doing a risk to reward. Is this enough liquidity? Is this deep enough structure for me to say that this break of purple has enough strength for the down? That's what you need to ask yourself, okay? So let's say here, let me give you a scenario. Let's say if it's gonna be the break of blue, right? If it's break of blue for our puts, and if you're in blue and you see maybe one candle, two candles, and then it immediately gets out of blue, okay, that's thin structure. But if you see, you know, the candles building and a lot of movement, a lot of price action in here, that's liquidity. And now when this breaks, you know it at least has a little bit of strength, right? So this is how you measure liquidity. You need to train your eyes to see this motion, this movement. This is what I call movement. When I say movement, I mean the up and down flexions and changes within a range of our algo. This is the movement. So our algo could be a movement, right? Now I'm just making up these terms. These are my own proprietary terms. Patent pending. I'm just kidding. Can't overstay your welcome. Let's look at the 30 minute. 30 minute says we got some room. Might be breaking purple here. So if this is yeah, structure would be broken somewhere up here. Structure would be broken, excuse me, on this inverse cup and handle somewhere up here. If this is, I just kind of, I don't know. I thought it could be a thing, so I put it. Okay, I took profit here, so I'm gonna, I just started talking a whole bunch. I'm going to let the next setup. Let the next setup present itself. And I also don't have to be in a trade every goddamn minute. I also don't have to do that. Okay, let's see. Okay, blue is presenting itself again. I think this is the blue from yesterday. So let's see if we got enough liquidity built up in here. I'm gonna give it a 2 because we're in a tight range, right? So this is confidence level 2 because we're in a tight range. You gotta be careful here because this is like the 50-50. I know this one looks weird, but I think it's a thing. Green. I believe green is a thing. I believe it is. All right, we're building in purple, breaking green. Purple served its purpose for its time, but we're building in purple and breaking green. Does everyone see it? We build in purple, break green. can't believe we're still in this range all day. But look, even in this tight range, we were still able to collect money, right? We were still able to make money. Man, look at this. Look at this. If it stays in here all day, then I'm just gonna call it. I had a good shot. I had a good time. Time for me to leave. This blue's kind of looking juicy though. I ain't gonna lie. Maybe there's a wedge between green and blue. I'm highlighting these for the wedge, not for... That's tough. That's tough to say. I'm going to abandon that idea for now. I'm going to give blue 2 again, confidence level 2, just because we're in the range, right? So time has gone by. The algo's green. Our put scenario is green. Okay, it was purple. We had to use that. We had to use purple because that was our micro algo. But you know, clearly blue is our macro algo. Remember I was telling you this from this morning. We have a what did I say? A micro algo, and see this micro downtrend, but the actual downtrend is blue. You see it? I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. Green's confidence level 2 because again the range, right? Break a green to pink. That's all. This is what it is. I don't control it, right? When this closes, the move is over. When this cup finally closes, the move is over. When we get back to pink, if we do, the move is over. And then we're gonna look for the next setup. You understand how it works now? Now, if it gets continuation down, cool. You know, you're still in the trade. So we need to see if we're gonna have a weak, what is this? Bull cycle here. A weak bull cycle would make perfect sense with this rejection, right? But now we know liquidity is built up on green. We know liquidity is built up on green. How do we know that? Because I put a green line there. And I am Himothy. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, are we seeing any fading in any direction? We don't make any assessment yet until we break green. Do not make an assessment until we break green. Now, if you didn't take this 50-50, there ain't nothing you can do, right? Your entry technically should be on green, but risk to reward to pink. You see what happens every time we hit pink. This is where we need to start using our mind. Still in blue. Okay, I just want to listen to everyone on YouTube and in the Discord. The reason why you cannot use the indicators for your entries or trades, really, I think entries, for sure entries. The reason you can't use it like as a 100% definite, well, the reason, okay, let me backtrack. The reason I don't like to is because, goddamn it, it's inaccurate. Because look, if you were to go like it's telling you, oh, you know, we're starting a bull cycle, and then immediately rejects. Like, you can't use this to trade off of. It's not gonna work. It can't work. It can give you an idea, but you can't. It can't be your sole. Like, you know, you gotta have some other skills in there. You can't rely on these other people's skills. Now remember, all the liquidity is here, so everything can turn around. It can easily spike right here, right? And then do one of these, watch. So you gotta wait for your confirmation. You can't front run it because the liquidity is literally right here. There's a whale right here waiting for you to take this put here so then he can, okay, hold on, let's see. Let me pay attention, hold on. Man, I was gonna say something I forgot. Don't get old. Don't get old. It's not a good thing. Today was an excellent exercise in patience and discipline, because look, this is, and it's like that. We need to have days like this. This is what builds your repertoire as a trader. This is your business. If this is going to be your business, you have to, days like this are going to happen. Days like this are going to happen. How do you react to it? Some people are like, you know what? I don't like this chop. Today's not for me. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Some people are like, you know what? I'm willing to take the risk. I got it. And that's on you. You need to figure out what trader you are. Measure risk to reward, right? The pink, look at the pink. We need to start thinking. Like, there's more context here. Look at the pink, measure risk to reward. I know I said greens are entry for puts, however, and I know it all lines up, but maybe you need a little more confirmation. Maybe you want a little more, give it, you know, be patient. Okay? I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. Today is a slow mover. Oh my goodness. Easy money. Okay, here we go. Look, there's nothing more I can do. There's nothing more I can do. We are the best on the internet. It's done. It's done. It's done. We're the best. Look at the money. Look at the money we printed. This is a win. Look at the money. It's so easy. Why is it too easy? Why is it too easy? Oh my goodness. Just got to stick with the strategy. Oh, look how beautiful. Look at the pathing. Oh my goodness, folks. I love it. Look at the perfection. The absolute perfection. Listen, it's hard to be wrong twice in a row. It's damn near impossible. You have to actively work against yourself. And when I'm saying actively work against yourself, I'm saying move your stops when you're not supposed to, not placing your stops in the first place where they're supposed to be. Listen, I'm showing you in real time, live. Listen, you can't get it right every time. That is impossible. Look, I'm telling you, I took a trade here and I stopped out here. And I held it all this time and I stopped that. They stop hunted me, right? We knew this was a stop hunt. How do we know? Because I called it. Look how much easier it got when we got data. So if we're in the first 15, 20, 30, maybe 45 minutes today, it took way longer. But if we're in that time frame and we don't have any data, then wait. Now that we got data, look how much easier it got. Everything after 10:55 got so much easier, especially when I found blue. Once I found blue, oh my goodness. Once these lick box showed up, oh my goodness, it was too easy. We knew our call entries were above the 5. Or no, because I changed it to blue, but blue would only give you to like pink and then the 5. Anyways, our call entries were on blue. That never happened. Green at this point was our entry. So purple, I said it, we're gonna build in purple, and then wait, Ron. Everyone in the Discord, listen, pay attention right now. Everyone, ready? Watch. Look, this is what we want to look for. This is absolutely textbook, and I just saw it. Watch. I'm gonna clean this up really quick just to show. I want to highlight. This is what you need to look for. This is the textbook stuff. Watch this. Micro, shoulder, head, shoulder. This is textbook. You see the dance? This is the dance I'm talking about on the, this is it. This is perfect. I need everyone to take a screenshot, whatever it is. You see the head, shoulder, head, shoulder, right before it breaks the level. This is what I'm talking about. This is the setup. This is the perfect setup. We want to see all the, look, okay, watch. Everyone, pay attention. Ready? This is our setup. If you see this setup, take this trade. If you lose, oh well. Trust me, it's a winning strat, right? Watch. Pay attention here. I'm gonna do it. Actually, I'll do it. Okay, we'll just do it in right here. I'm gonna extend this. Watch. Purple. Remember, I told you we want to build in purple, right? We want to build in purple to gain liquidity. Remember what I told you? Whenever you see the movement go top to bottom to top, that's good movement, right? This is good movement. This is good liquidity building. Also, watch. Within our algo, that's when, look how perfect this is. This doesn't get any better. So what I'm trying to say is our setup is, if we are within our algo, we want to see a shoulder, head, shoulder in the algo. This is our setup. This is our setup. I don't know how else to say it. Look at this setup right here. Now, on a higher time frame, it's going to be, this is ideally what we want too. This is just in a micro. This is a micro algo here. But when we get to the macro algos, same thing. It works better on the macro. because the micro, it looks like chop. It comes across as chop, but this is it. If we're in our movement and we see this all the way to the bottom, all the way to the top, and then back down to the bottom of the algo, look at the money we printed. Look at this money. Look at the money. Okay. Look, break, retest a pink. Break, retest, reject a pink. Inside this, I told you, way over here. I guarantee you, one of these things is gonna happen, right? How are you going to handle it as a trader? Now, unfortunately, you know, I'll take some blame here. I wasn't able to spot blue earlier, you know, early on. I wasn't able to, and I apologize for that. But we made it. But we got here. That looks ugly. And now, you know, it's the patience. Now we're just exercising patience. Don't overstay your welcome. Let's see if we form. I'm not a huge fan of this magenta guardrail, but we don't have anything else, so. I'm not a huge fan of this magenta guardrail, but this is what we got. So I'm not gonna try to make it pretty, because I'd rather be right than cute. All right, let's look at the higher time frames. Okay, so we guide off the 5. There's absolutely nothing more I can do. Look at the 5. Look at the perfection. There's nothing more I can do. Now, this was a stop hunt. We know that. It got me too. But we survived. Now you're patient. You're waiting for either... So let's say you take break of green, right? If you're single contracts, I recommend, well, I'll let you do whatever you want, but here are the options. You hit profit target, take profit, call it a day, or, you know, do whatever. Or you wait for the break of your selling channel in this instance. Or if you're a gangster, you're gonna hold for for the retracement. That's the answer. But don't take that as a challenge, like, oh, I'm a gangster, I'll show you. That's not what I mean. Don't do that. Look, even if you took this break, retest, and reject from pink, what is it? 62.43 to 07. That's over 30 cents, right? Break, retest, reject. That's over 30 cents. You could have easily made money here. Easily made money because I said it was going to happen. Right? I'm literally giving you the answers to the test. But anyways, so I can't stress this enough. This, if we find a head and shoulders within our algo, you better believe that's a pretty solid setup. And take that trade, right? Take the trade because it has a very high probability. Very high probability. And you'd be remiss not to take the trade. Now, if you want, you wait for this to cross. Or you wait till it breaks close on outside of this magenta. Now again, I did say I didn't like the magenta, but this is all we got to work with. This is all we got to work with, so. See, wait for it to close. You always get another bite at the apple. Look at the money we're printing right now on break of green. Come on, look at the money. Stay disciplined, stay focused. I'm telling you, you don't have to get it right every time. With the strategy I've created, it is not impossible. Let me not say that. It's very difficult to lose twice in a row. That's what I will say. It's very difficult to at least not, I mean, it's very difficult to leave very red for the day. I'll say that. It's very difficult, but you have to understand the strategy first. And you have to trust the strategy. It's not just like, oh, okay, I get it, but then you don't do it, right? You have to actually do it. If you don't follow this stuff to a T, because it's a mathematical computation. What I've put together is a mathematical computation, and if you don't follow it, then you're winging it, right? You're going off of vibes. So if you think you know more than math, then okay, then take the trades wherever you feel. However, if you understand market structure, then you'll just wait for the setups. It doesn't always have to hit. The probability is there to win, to win at the end of the day is the point. Understand what I'm saying? So single contracts, you're still in this trade until it breaks, or do what you want to do, but I'm giving you an idea of how to not stop yourself out. We still haven't crossed. We're still inside, what do you call it? You should, you can't let these things, because I hope you see what's happening. This is why you should at least let it cross. At least let it cross. This is why. You see what's happening? See how they try to fake you out right here? At least let it cross. This is your best. This is the highest probability of success. Look at the money we're printing. Come on now. It just doesn't get any better. Remember, at the beginning of in the beginning of the session, I told you there is only two things are going to happen from this point. We're going to hit this liquidity box or this one. Now, how you go about that, I cannot control that. Do you understand how very simple this concept is? You have to learn to control your emotions and allow the thing to happen. Look, we're still inside of this magenta. No reason to leave the trade. Don't let the candles fool you. This is what they're trying to do this on. The green candles in the put scenario are good because that's telling you, oh, we're about to give you more money. Look at the money we're printing. I'm telling you not to get out, right? I'm telling you, you get out on the break of this, on a close. I'm telling you the answers to the test. And then look, I even told you, break, retest, reject. I told you when to get in here. There's nothing more I can do. I'm giving the answer. Look at the money we're printing. Come on now. Look at the money we're printing. Let's go. I gotta go look in the Discord. Oh my goodness. It doesn't get any better. What am I doing? Look at the, come on. Okay, Rhino, first day, you see how we do? You see how we do it. Okay, look, another thing, you also had the Pink Ranger. So if you didn't take Pink Ranger, there's literally nothing more I can do. I'm giving the answers to the test every day. You have to discipline yourself. You have to discipline yourself and trust the strategy. If you don't go back and look at the catalog of my YouTube. It's all streamed live. You can't make up the results. It's all live. You see what's happening. If you want to learn how to trade like this, send me an email, LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com, and I'll get you sorted out. Look at the money. Rhino, do you see what's happening here? Okay. Very easy. We dealt with chop. We dealt with it. How do we deal with it? We took our trades, we allowed it to get stopped out, and then we waited for our next setup. Look at the money. Come on. Just wait for it to close. At this point, it may close on you rapidly because it got a lot of strength here. So protect it. Protect this trade. Look at the money. It's settled. I'm the best on the internet. Bye. I'll be right back. Let this play out. Listen, folks, it doesn't get any better. If you think you're going to get better than this, if you think you're going to find someone out there that's going to teach you or show you better than this, good luck. Good luck. I'm still waiting. I'm challenging the internet. Find me someone that's doing what I'm doing with the accuracy and the precision. Find it for me. And I'm not talking about someone just like, I'm talking about winning. They actually have to have a winning strategy. You show me them and I'll give you $50. You know what? 100. I'll on my honor. This magenta's actually work. Look at the magenta putting in work. Look at the magenta putting in work. Oh my god, there's nothing more I can do. Come on. We've had an amazing day. We've had an amazing day. Started a little rough. We got there. We accomplished. It's okay. Ron, don't do this. You know why? Because it doesn't matter. We do it every day. No, don't do that. See? Come on, Ron, we have to be a robot because this happens every day. We have to be a robot. Yeah, we do. You just don't realize it. We do have days like this. Every day we have days like this. When I'm saying days like this, I mean the ability to make profit. If you're only trying to look for home runs, I'm telling you right now, this is not realistic. The home runs will come, just like what happened today. But I think you think that all your trades are going to be home runs, and that's not a thing. 30 cents is what I consider a win. So the way I do that is, why I consider 30 cents a win, I told you why, but how I came up with that is because I believe that when I make these algos, that based on my call out, you should be able to at least make 0.30 cents, or there should be a 30-cent change in price for me to consider it a win. So that's how I come up with it. I generate the algos in order to make sure that there's money to be made, or else I won't make it. But we gotta be robots. We gotta be robots, Ron. Because the market is a robot. So you have to fight fire with fire. You know, the human emotion, it always leads you. I've never seen a positive outcome from a highly emotional reaction. So we have to train our brains. And maybe today, by allowing the trades, by looking for the setup, maybe today, because I know you feel fear. That's why you hesitated today. And maybe you got chopped up when I got chopped up earlier today too. But this is a math problem. It's an equation of math. And the reason I know this is because, or anyone can know this, is because we have, from February till now, of data of my live streams to prove that it works. So once you understand it's a mathematical computation, it would be crazy for someone to say, think about it like this, follow my logic. It would be crazy for someone to say 1 + 1 = 5. Right? That would be crazy. So basically the reason why I'm saying that is because if I'm showing you that 1 + 1 = 2 and you have the proof, then we should be trading that style. We shouldn't be trading 1 + 1 = 5 because there's no proof of that. But I have proof that this mathematical computation that I've come up with, it works. It's just a fact. Okay, this candle stopped me out, no big deal. This was an excellent trade. I mean, from break of green, how much is this? 62.55. 2 full points. Oh my goodness. We had a good day. We had a great day. Okay, YouTube, I'm gonna call it here. I have an appointment. Discord, I'm still gonna let this run, and I'll be here kind of in the background. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, and I'll, you know how we normally do. So I'll just leave it streaming on Discord, and then I'm gonna cut off the YouTube right now. YouTube has been a pleasure. If you're interested in learning how to trade like this, if you wanna make money, send me an email to LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com, and I'm gonna get you sorted out. YouTube, it's been a pleasure. You have a good day. Bye.